There you go. Ken Warren joining the fray, along with the Carl joining the fray. What's up, Ron WWE? Oh, there's a lot of people joining us right now. Uh, Pin the comment. What's up?
What's
Giddy?
up, bro?
So we're good. You're good. You got a new background. Where are you at
Yes,
right
sir.
now?
Well, it's the same background, it's just my door. But my something came in the mail today. Something came in the
Oh,
mail, bro. It's my freaking tripod that I got from Shopee. Freaking
oh,
A,
you're
man.
you're using the tripod right now.
Yeah, the tripod right now, and of course the what do you call this? The
All
ring
right.
light thing. And yeah, bro, I'm standing up. I'm not sitting down, bro. I'm standing up right now. Like, yeah, yes, sir.
That's cool. That's cool. Good for you, man. Good for you. And again, before we go into anything else, again, welcome to everyone joining us right now tonight. This is hashtag PWG Live. This is an IG Live show where two Philippine wrestlers just talk to each other, talk to random guests online, different personalities. We're technically not under like the strictest of quarantines right now with the coronavirus, but everyone is still staying at home, still staying safe. I hope everyone watching right now is staying safe. Shout out to underscore Ron WWE, Rach underscore Mendoza, Triple F.
Triple
Good
F.
evening also to you. But yeah, all right. Tonight we're gonna have one of our good friends in the Southeast Asian wrestling scene, Pumi from Setup Thailand Pro Wrestling. I'm pretty sure I'm really excited to have him on. You're still doing the Go Ace thing.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. I
can you
don't
tell us a
even
little
know.
bit about that Go Ace thing?
No, actually, yeah, that's my one of my questions for him, bro. I don't know where he got it. I don't know where he got
You
it. That's
don't.
one of my questions for him.
Triple F is asking, did you get a new haircut, JD? Because your hair looks great. Thank you. Yes, I did get a haircut today. If anyone watched the, if anyone watched the sobrang late na
Yes.
podcasting with Kayfabe Cafe last night, I still had the really long hair. But today I was able to go out and finally get a haircut. So yeah, thank you, Triple F, for noticing. How was your Saturday, Ken? How was it so far?
Busy as always, but I am happy. I'm better off doing something than nothing. How about you, bro?
Well, I watched earlier. We watched the A Thousand Cuts by that documentary that followed Maria Ressa and Rappler during their
Mm.
time. But yeah, it was pretty scathing. I'm not sure if it's still active because people say it was only up until 6 p.m. today. Hopefully, people can still catch it. It's a really great show. I have to say, like, it's a really great documentary. So hopefully, you guys can check that out. And yeah, Saturday was, besides the haircut, it was pretty uneventful. A lot of Animal Crossing, which I know Pumi also plays a lot of. And yeah,
You
thank you.
gamers. You
Thank
gamers.
you underscore on WWE for saying I look handsome, or was that for Ken? Anyway,
Uh, Probably the
yeah,
both of us, bro. I don't know.
both of us, obviously. So Ken, what are you looking forward to seeing this talk with Pumi tonight?
And I just want this opportunity right now because not if you guys weren't able to read the credentials poster, as we call it, the credentials virtual poster of Pumi, he's
Yeah.
actually an author of a wrestling related book. I think it's a children's book actually, and I want to get to know more of that. And bro, he's basically our first author and sort of GM as a guest here at
Yeah,
hashtag PWOG Live. So that's something groundbreaking. I'm looking forward to that,
definitely,
bro.
definitely. There's a lot that goes into the history of him, like from the start of the Thai pro wrestling scene. He's been there since the start. I've been reading up on it. We're gonna talk to him about that. We're gonna also talk to him about the book. Obviously, we're gonna talk about Gatoh Move, about setup. So there's a lot of things that we can get into tonight. And yeah, I'm just really excited to finally get to talk to Pumi. And he definitely is one of the good guys in Southeast Asian pro wrestling. And it'll be definitely like a good talk with him. And I hope Dr. Gore joins us tonight so that he and Pumi can get into it a little bit. Because like I'm really excited for that part of the story.
Yeah, dude, some live chat, trash talking right over here. Hashtag exclusive.
Obviously, Dr. Gore, we know Dr. Gore runs his mouth online, so he and Pumi will definitely get into it, hopefully. And we're less than a minute away to talking about it, so yeah, we're just gonna wait until 9 p.m. Pumi is actually online, I think. Like, he sent a message. I can't really get into it right now
I
because
saw it
I'm doing the
earlier. I
IG
saw it
live.
earlier. He's standby
You saw
on
it earlier.
standby.
All right, Ken, it's 9 p.m. We got to get Pumi in the chat. Thank you again for joining us. We'll see you later tonight for John Cena Saturdays. Obviously, we
And
have
Dr.
to
Gore,
remember John
speaking of
Cena
the
Saturdays.
devil, he's right over here, bro. He just joined.
Yeah,
He
Dr.
just joined.
Gordon is joining us. All
Actually,
right,
Pumi's
Ken,
actually
thank you
online.
very much.
I need to go.
All right, Pumi is in.
I'm
You
here.
gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. I'll
I'm
join.
here. Moderate.
All right. Thanks for moderating. See you later. All right. Oh, how do you do this? We gotta add Pumi in. There you go. We're going live with Pumi in a bit. Thank you again for joining us tonight, amigos and amigas. The
Hey,
main man himself, Pumi, is here. What's up?
yeah, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good.
All right. Before we get into anything, I have to introduce you first to the guests.
Yep.
Everyone, amigos and amigas, watching right now on hashtag PDBG Live, you are looking at the co-founder and producer of Setup Thailand Pro Wrestling. He is the Gatoh Move Pro Wrestling commentator and also a commentator for New Japan Pro Wrestling in over there in Thailand on Thailand TV. And of course,
Yep.
he's the founder and writer of Humans of Wrestling. Please welcome to the show, Pumi. Yay!
Yay.
There's no applause. I'm just
So
all right,
exciting. I'm
Pumi.
so nervous.
Oh, May's joining us.
May,
Hi, May. May Chan,
May,
your little sister May.
wake up, May.
All right, Pumi. Obviously, the first question that we have to ask you guys right now is how are you doing during the whole coronavirus situation over there
Okay,
in Thailand?
the situation right now is a lot better. I mean, the society is now open again on this Monday. The curfew
Yeah,
is over. You can drink beer again. You can go to the restaurant again. Everything
yeah.
is almost back to normal except pro wrestling. Wrestling cannot
Mm.
organize right now, but I think after about few months of lockdown, people are so stressed, and
Yeah.
the overall in the country is it's not so entertained, honestly. But
Yeah.
I think right now everything is getting better and better. So I think in about few months it's gonna be back
Mm.
to normal. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. So like your coronavirus numbers are going down? Are the infections going down?
Yeah, we doesn't have any new infection for maybe 2 weeks already, so that's why that's
Wow.
gonna be interesting. Yeah, I
All
think
right.
the news right now is we may do some kind of the like relationship with the Japanese government, so we can exchange people between the countries. So that's gonna be good for us.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
congratulations to Thailand. I'm really happy for you guys
Yeah.
because like right now our numbers are still on the rise, very much on the rise.
Wow. Mm,
So up until now, it's gonna be hard for us to be able to get out of the house, just making sure that we stay safe. But hopefully soon, with Thailand, the numbers not having any new infections. Hopefully soon, you
mm.
guys can have shows. Obviously, more pro wrestling shows there. So
Yeah, but what
hopefully,
we
you
are
guys can
doing
do
right
that.
now
All
is
right.
we
So
can allow to do a show, but maybe without audience, just like in America. So we may focus
okay.
on that first. Yeah, yeah. So at least we want Thai fans to enjoy pro wrestling because it's almost 4 months already that we don't have any
Yeah.
wrestling here. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. But actually, I was gonna get into that because you are the co-founder and producer of Setup Thailand Pro Wrestling. Can
Yeah.
you first off, can you like tell us more about Setup and like what your main goal as a pro wrestling company is? Like, what is your main goal as Setup?
Okay. The first thing I need to mention is I was the co-founder of Gatoh Move as well. So
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
why I aim to make wrestling in Thailand something like a real job. So
Yeah.
that's that's the goal. Before that, I can say that wrestling in Thailand is more like a hobby. Like you have fun, you come here, you just like 2 months, one match. That's not enough. So our
Mm.
goal for setup at first, we want to make a company that is safe. And also, if there's going to be something dangerous, it needs to come with a good training. It needs to come with a good like psychology. Everything going to be like more professional, just like what we did in the past. And
Mm.
also, our goal is to make wrestling something like a real job that you can graduate from universities and become a pro wrestler and like be a long time job. So that's what we are going to do that. So setup right now is honestly I love wrestling that's more like a safety, like a
Mm.
family business, family
Yeah.
entertainment. So
Yeah.
we try to put setup in that part. And
Yeah.
also one thing I need to mention is it's difficult to say, but it's something like in Thailand, people doesn't understand much about pro wrestling. They all think
Mm.
wrestling could be some kind of the very violent sport. We
Yeah.
try to change the attitude for maybe 10 years already. Just before I start set up anyway, before I start Gatoh Move. But
Yeah.
people still think wrestling is something that the parents doesn't want their children to watch. So we try
Yeah.
to, along with building the company, we try to change the attitude as well. So I don't have like the very big goal. I
Mm.
I do have. I want to have a show in like center of Bangkok with 2,000 audience. It is. But the first thing is I need to make a good fan base. I need to make a good understanding for the peoples in Thailand first. So that's the first plan that setup need to go. Because
Mm.
I think as long as we have the good structures, the future is like bright. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very
Yeah,
much for
yeah.
sharing that. And I do agree with the fact that wanting to make wrestling like more for everyone, as it was your old goal also in Gatoh Move Pro Wrestling. It was like to make wrestling
Mm.
happy and make sure that
Yeah.
everyone watches, no matter how young or how old they are. So that's cool, and thank you for sharing that. But obviously, right now, with the coronavirus happening, Setup can't have any wrestling shows right now. So I just wanted to ask,
Yes.
what is it Setup has been doing recently while you can't have shows, while you can't have wrestling shows? What have you guys been
Okay.
trying to do to out there?
Okay, what we try to do is we see wrestling not just like the sport, not just like our job, but it's something that I try to expand wrestling in all of context. I mean, if
Mm,
wrestling is about characters, each wrestler had their own characters, right? So that character doesn't need to be only on the pro wrestling ring. So
mm,
we can use that characters in other terms of entertainment, just like you can go to like some kind of the restaurant, you do a food review with your
yeah,
characters, or you
yeah,
go to any like a gym, you go to anything, you can combine wrestling with anything. So to me, in this pandemic, it feels like it's kind of you unlock a lot of knowledge about pro wrestling. So at least you need to think a lot to adapt wrestling into so many things. The goal is to make sure that we still in the customer's eyes. They still
mm,
think we still the one who can make them entertain, even we cannot have a wrestling shows. Right now, you see like AEW, we have like being the elite. We have a lot of YouTube video. Even on our the Move channels, there's a lot of like YouTube content. We try
mm,
to do that as well. And in terms of the wrestling company, there are so many like sponsors or something that you have some commitment with them already, right? So you need to come up
yeah,
with an idea to make sure that they still get something worth the money they give us,
mm,
even we don't have a wrestling shows. So set up try to work on the sponsors, the connection is still there, the partnership is still there, and the
mm,
fans still there. So in the first month, we try to do like we do live, not
yeah,
not as much as to do, but we try to do a lot. And we have Bangkok Showdown, and we have a lot of old content because even Kotomo is closed, but we can still use the old footage. And there
yeah,
are so many unseen footage, so we try to put that online with some of
mm,
Thai commentaries, and we try to send the PR papers to all of the media, So
yeah,
wrestling is something unique anyway, even in the Philippines right now. So
yeah.
yeah, I think at first we thought that's gonna be very difficult, but at last I think it's not that difficult as long as we keep
Mm.
thinking. Yeah. So we are totally fine in this situation.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like wrestling can be connected anywhere, as you mentioned earlier. What we've been doing in
Yeah.
PWR is we've been trying to put out as much content as we can when it comes to our wrestling. So
Yeah.
we're right there with you in that term. All right. So thank you again for sharing that, and let's get into
Mhm.
some questions from the audience members who are joining us right now. So
Yes.
just a shout out to some of the people that have been commenting at PW the Good Doctor. So Dr. Gore is saying he's ready to get roasted. So if you have any messages for Dr. Gore right now, we'll talk about that later. But Dr. Gore is here joining us tonight.
Okay.
Crystal is joining us, and he's saying, "Pumi, I miss you." Crystal, I hope
I
you're
miss
doing
her
well.
too. Yeah, I
We're
hope she's doing well.
yeah, and Tapla says Pumi is fat. So all right.
Yeah. I'm on diet anyway. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so we'll go into a question from @_Ron WWE.
Hmm.
Um, His question is, what's your favorite Gato move match that you enjoyed a lot?
My favorite Gatoh Move match is, to me right now, is Emi Sakura versus Riho, which is the last
Mm,
match of Riho in our promotion.
yeah.
The thing is, I stayed with Gatoh Move for the very first day. I know Riho right before she joined the company, since the Ice Ribbon,
Yeah.
since she's very young. I know her sisters, I know her mothers, I know her family, and we are very close.
Mm,
At the other side, I know like on that day, Emi Sakura has a lot of back pain. I mean, she
mm,
cannot even walk.
yeah.
But when the entrance music hit, she can like, okay, my freaking spirit. So she can walk. But right now we have the video available on Gatoh Move YouTube channel. So if you watch the match, like you're gonna see her very difficult to get up on her feet. So I
Yeah.
think that, oh my God, that's my mentor. So, oh, what the fuck,
Yeah.
that's my boss. Something like it's like very proud. And I mean, as a staff, as a co-worker in the racing business, that kind of thing is something you need to see by your own eyes. It
Yeah.
gives you a lot of motivation. It gives you a lot of passion, and I cannot think any better set of match more than that
Mm,
one. Especially for the person I love, like two of my favorite wrestlers, my favorite friend, and just
mm,
wrestle each other on the ring.
yeah.
Yeah, so they're so emotional. So that's my favorite match. I think of all time I can say it's not just only for
Yeah.
Gatoh Move for wrestling. Yeah,
Right. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
that's
very
my
much for
favorite.
sharing that.
Yeah,
Well, actually, I'm
yeah,
glad that you already talked about being the co-founder also of Got to Move Thailand because I was going to
yeah,
ask this question because I read this article online that um, it's the Under the Ropes article that said that Thailand didn't have wrestling back then, and you watched a lot of
yes.
Japanese promotions and wanted to bring them over to Thailand. So
Hmm.
I just wanted to ask, like, who were the Japanese promotions that you were watching, and which ones were you contacting back then?
Uh, it's gonna be a little bit long story, but it's something like a little bit weird, but a little
Yeah,
bit like I can say it's fun. Okay, let's see.
go ahead.
Back about 30 years ago, Japanese
Mm,
women wrestling is very famous.
yeah.
A lot like super famous compared to WWE is like different level. Women wrestling
Mm,
is super hard. Everybody knows who like the Matsumoto, who the Crush Girl is.
yeah,
Even they have like Crush Girl has a cassette tape, like the song. We can sell
yeah.
almost 1 million copies. That's a lot. That's huge. So then we have a lot of Japanese women wrestling video available
Yeah.
on like the rental shop, and my family loved that. My
Mm,
granddad is kind of the amateur wrestlers in the military camp.
yeah.
So that's why my house was born. Like while after watch animation, watch cartoon, I was born with wrestling.
Mm,
Like just like people watch cartoon. So I fell in love with pro wrestling. And by the time like it's during the period that I moved out of my hometown to study
mhm,
in the universities.
yeah.
That was the first time I stay alone in my own life
Yeah. Mm,
because I studied in high school just like opposite to my house all the time for like 18 years. So
mm,
that was when I need to find something to make sure that I don't get lonely. I have some kind of
yeah.
motivation to study in universities. And by that time, internet is not a thing. It's
Yeah.
not that famous. But there one Ustream, Ustream, right? Ustream is kind of the streaming service, but very long time
Mm, yeah.
ago. That
Yeah.
was run by Ice Ribbon. It's called
Mm,
19 O'Clock Pro Wrestling. It's like a
okay.
free Ustream show. It's a wrestling show without audience.
Yeah.
Just like the internet shows. But I got attracted to that. The commentary there was Sayaka Obihiro. It's kind of the main host of that. So so it's kind of the fanboy. It's look a little bit weird, just like the AKB48
Yeah.
otaku, something like that. But I talked to her a lot. Just like, I mean, to others, wrestling for them could be some kind of entertainment, but to me, it's kind of something that helped me through the hard times.
Yeah.
So that show means a lot to me. And then by the time my mobile was like very old school, we don't have internet, we
Mm-hmm.
don't have Facebook, don't have like we have but not so famous.
Yeah.
So I walk in the shopping mall and I see like the advertising of Twitters, just like
Yeah.
connect to the artist you love by just like right in your hands.
Yeah.
I found that copy is very attracting to me. So I
Yeah.
said, okay, I need to buy a new phone and use the Twitter to change my life.
Yeah.
That's what happened in my mind. And I think I gonna make the best of this 4,000 baht to buy a new phone, to new mobile. I need to make it the best. So I have a new phone, I have a Twitter, and I
Mm.
start doing kind of the tweeting, just
Yeah.
tweeting to the Ice Ribbon, to Sakura, to Obi Heroes. And
Yeah.
then I back to myself to think that, okay, what I have in like my skills. So I tend to write a lot about like match result, match analysis,
Yeah.
and then some of the Thai TV shows like found my articles, Thai TV
Mm.
channels. So they asked me, oh, that's probably interesting to have some kind of the Japanese wrestling shows back in Thai
Mm.
TV. So they want me to help. By the time I was about 18 years old, and I was the producers for TV Gaora. TV Gaora is part of the big TV channels in Japan for the fighting sport, just like
Mm.
Samurai TV.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
we got the right from that channels to Thai, and I was the producers when I was 18 years old. So
Wow.
I produced like New Japan, All Japan, Dragon Gate, and like TNA, even TNA.
Wow. Okay.
So
Dang.
that's huge to me a lot, and it was success. It's one
Yeah.
year like a lot of success. So they asked me that, okay, what do you want to build like a new fan base? Because Thai TV show doesn't have enough money to buy WWE back to the channels
Yeah.
again. That's too much.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I recommend them the Ice Ribbon. So that's why we have Ice Ribbon on Thai TV.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
by then, that's why I start to know who Emi Sakura is. We keep communication. And about 6 months after that, Emi Sakura leave Ice Ribbon with her
Mm.
personal reason.
Yeah.
So she then contact me on Twitters, on the DMs, like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to visit Thailand and to talk something, to discuss something. So
Mm.
it what happened really fast. It's kind of the dream come true. It's kind of something that like miracles. No, she
Yeah.
messaged and then she come
Yeah.
like just about 1 week after the DMs, the Twitter's message. And she come, so I think she want to be. We want to start something in Thailand, but
Mm.
honestly, the budget is not here. Like everything is very difficult. But for her to leave the old company and to start something new in Japan, gonna be difficult. And she know from me already that Thailand gonna have some kind of fan base from
Mm.
the history, from the rights of the TV shows I bought to Thailand. So
Yeah.
so we start a new company. That's how we start. That's very simple. But at first, we want to start it as a women wrestling company, women wrestling
Mm.
promotion, but it's not
Yeah.
possible. So it's about 2 or 3 months. No, like no girls joins the company. So we need
Yeah.
to change to the male wrestling and waiting for like when we're gonna have the first girl, something like that. Yeah, so that's how it starts. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
That's
simple
I.
for yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that because I've been reading up that article and it shows that 13 years ago you already had like a good business sense when it comes to wrestling, and that just shows that setup is
Mm.
in really good hands, like moving forward. But yeah, and thank you for sharing the story. Like, Emi Sakura, like contacting you and everything, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
basically how Thai pro wrestling started. So before that, there was no any wrestling promotion in Thailand, right? It only really
We had
started with
some. We
okay.
had wrestling, but it's
Mm-hmm.
less than 1 year. It's called the TWF in Pattaya, Thailand Wrestling Federation.
Mm-hmm.
is organized by, I'm not sure, but it's some kind of the guys from England. We have the Johnny Storm, if you know him. He is the nickname is Wonder Kid, is kind of the legend from the English wrestling scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
it's more like about the tourist attraction. The wrestlers
Mm.
there are
Okay.
very, very good. I watch them like very high skill, but I think by that time people doesn't accept much for pro wrestling. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we don't have doesn't have any like, social network to PR, so that's why it's
Yeah.
so really
Okay.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, we have a question coming in from at the Ken Warren, the tag team
Hmm.
partner. Go Ace.
Go
Um,
ahead.
13 years ago, and then you already had the business sense for wrestling. But did you like his question is, did you really picture yourself as a wrestling promoter? Did you really want to be like a promoter for wrestling, or
Oh yeah.
did you secretly
I
also want to be a wrestler?
I I doesn't want to be a wrestler because honestly I a little bit like a lazy. And I mean I love wrestling. I love wrestling. I want to be a promoter, but before you become a real producer, what happened in your mind, just like your imagination, right? It's like
Yeah.
if I am a booker, I gonna book John Cena like this. I doesn't want
Yeah.
him to lose like this, but it's all imagination. So
Mm.
it's simple for you to have a lot of dream, like while you are young, while you become a teenager. But
Yeah.
wrestling is a goal, but it's not the only goal. So that's why I cannot be a pro wrestler because I still want to do so many things, and that's help because I am the guys that love to put myself into all kind of business. And by
Yeah.
that time, you're gonna see like Gatoh Move Pro Wrestling setup has some kind of the I can say it's unique. I can say it's weird environment sometimes. They have a dispute. It's all come with a connection, something like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All
So,
right. So again,
mm.
we have another question from Ken Warren. Where did the Go Ace greeting come from whenever you see each other? Because I don't know why he's asking you this question. He should probably know the answer to it. But like, why do you guys greet each other with Go Ace all the time?
I don't know. That's fun. The thing is, I mean, I met Ken Warren first time when WWE come here to
Yeah.
scout,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, nothing make like friendship happen faster than a joke. If you have
Yeah.
something in common to remember the day, that's gonna be fun, right?
Yeah.
If I talk about you, our first thing happened in mind was when taxi dropped you in front of the shopping mall.
Oh
That's
yeah.
why we need something in common to make sure that we can remember each other. So that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to remember someone just like, oh, I met JDL first time in Bangkok, blah blah, because that's so plain. We
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
remember that kind of thing, but we need something that in details. I think to remember someone in detail is good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind you care them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
thank
why.
you again for saving our butts when we were lost in that taxi in Thailand. That was pretty scary for us. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to another question. This one's from Dr. Gore, actually. Uh, how famous is Tiger Mask in Thailand?
Tiger Mask is the legendary, but that's for manga, for the animation.
Mm,
I remember when I bring New Japan to Thailand for a show. I was the show producers by that time.
yeah,
And the first plan for the show is like very big. We have like Nakamura, we have like Tanahashi, we have like everybody. But then
yeah.
there's a big explosion in Bangkok, like a bomb. So the show
Oh, okay.
postponed, and it's during the day that I think they all go to America for the shows. So what
Mm,
we had left was the one that not so famous. But they asked me who I want to bring, who want to be the main eventers, and
yeah.
like uh, 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 I don't mean to say that, but Tiger Mask doesn't famous in Japan anymore. By the time,
Mm,
doesn't have any
yeah,
match to do. But I told them that Tiger Mask is a must. He is super number one famous here in Thailand.
yeah.
I still remember the face of the New Japan stuff that, oh, what happened? Why? But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So okay, they trust me, so we bring Taker Mask here along with like
Mm.
Toki Makabe,
Yeah,
Goto, and Naito. Three of like the very big.
yeah, yeah,
So, yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but when we go to the TV shows, Taker Mask, the TV shows all want Taker Mask, but they all ask
yeah,
about like Taker Mask in the manga, and
yeah.
the real Taker Mask was seem like confused. It's kind of like we put him in the difficult situation, you know. We talk about Mr. X. We talk about like Black Tigers, like Tiger the Dark, everything that happened in cartoon.
Yeah.
So he was put in the difficult situation. So I think Tiger Mask as a real wrestler is not famous,
Mhm.
but if we bring him and we can relate him to the animation, so that's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
good.
I think I remember you mentioning when we were back there in Thailand, you mentioned that
Mm,
Thai people really like Japanese culture. Is that true?
mm. Yes,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
love Japanese cultures because I
That's why
think
like people.
Thai
No,
and
go ahead.
Japanese have some kind of the political relationship, like international
Mm.
relationship, like for a long time. So mostly Thai import the product from Japan maybe 100 years ago. So that's why we have a lot of the Japanese cultures here in Bangkok, in Thailand. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you very much for sharing that. So we'll go back to the Gato Move questions again.
sure.
So when you started out and you in the beginning when you had Gato Move Thailand, it was very new. So you actually held shows in a national park with no audience, and you would actually
Yeah.
hold free shows in your dojo. So what were those times in Thai wrestling for you? Like holding shows without audience in the national park, having shows on a beach.
The
What was
show
it like?
in the national park was right before we have the first official show. That's when
Mm,
we start. And honestly, by the time I was the first year or first year of my universities, I
mm,
have a passion, but I don't have any connection. I don't know how to do, honestly. So Sakura and Takanashi think that at least we need to make something viral. So
mm.
we go to the park, we go to the beach to do a show, just to
Yeah.
make like the people wonder that, oh, who are two of them? Who are
Mm,
they?
yeah.
And maybe we can like, okay, if you're interested, I give you a brochure, so you come to us, contact us, and if you want to join. But that's not easy. I can say that was a good memories, but it's not a good time because by that time Takanashi was the KOD champions, like one of the most famous Japanese wrestlers, and Emi
Yeah.
Sakura just won the Tokyo Sport Toki of the
Mm.
Year by the time
Okay.
2009. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
so both of them are very huge, and I got a lot of like complaint like I can understand, like they are famous in Japan. There are so many loyal fans. If they leave Japan for something that big already, something like make them proud, I think fans gonna be okay. But if
Mm.
you see like your favorite wrestlers move out of the company for something that lowers than they want their favorite wrestler to be in, they can be unhappy. So that's what happened to us in Thailand.
Yeah.
So and then we do a show without the audience. Okay, I can say the truth. What happened is that we doesn't have so much of the game plan by the time
Mm.
because
Yeah.
we doesn't have like the trainees that come here and commit that we're gonna wrestle for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there are a lot of like of time that we almost launched a first show and they left. So
Mm.
that's kind of like on and off, on and off all the time.
Yeah.
So so we try to make that serious. We have some kind of the payment for the person who come to make at least I don't know if mostly at first it's Sakura idea that she tried to bring some of the Japanese plan to work in Thailand. Some
Mm.
work, some not.
Yeah.
But anyway, finally we have a first show in 2012.
Yeah.
We wrestled in dojo for I think about 2.5 years, and we have
Mm.
maybe 3 shows a year. That's very little. But I still remember the time when the dojo was on the fourth floor, the fourth
Yeah.
floor. And because it's a free show, you cannot guarantee that how many people is gonna come to join your shows, right?
Yeah.
And opposite to the dojo is kind of the waiting area, like people come to smoke, things like that. So until now, I still remember the time that the shows almost start when like 5 minutes to go, and I look
Yeah.
down from the windows to the waiting area, and the first time there's no people, like six
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and then that's hurt a lot. I remember
Yeah.
that time when we have about 6 or 7 people. Emi Sakura was the Pro Wrestling Eve champion. You know,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
very big in
Mm.
the world of professional wrestling. But I feel bad for myself that we cannot do something at least to make her proud because she sacrificed, she gave a lot to us. And
Mm.
then my view of that waiting area get bigger and bigger. That's one of the most beautiful pictures I've seen. And
Yeah.
I always think about that day when I feel like, oh, it's very difficult for wrestling. But, you know, there is one day, the very first show of Gatoh Move is a full house, many
Yeah.
people. But that because the we rent the karate dojo. Okay, so most of the audience are the trainees from the karate dojo. But we
Yeah.
don't know because Emi Sakura organized almost 100%. She is very hardworking. Like, but I thought that's gonna be very easy. You know, I didn't do anything, but we got full house already. And
Yeah.
later that month, like 3 weeks later, there's no people, and that
Mm.
was the only time that Emi Sakura angry to me
Oh, okay.
because she doesn't angry, but she feel like she's sad. You know, because
Yeah.
she expect us to do more.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, because she is a hard worker, she is a very professional. So at least even you cannot match what she had, but you need to be at least try to do something. So that's what I
Yeah.
learned. And
Yeah.
from that, I think I can say I become a completely different person because
Mm.
it's not about to me to make pro wrestling in Thailand, but it's about me to make her proud, to make because fans in Japan knows that that she coming here to Thailand and it's gonna be her good choice, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
No.
the passion that I try to improve the
Yeah.
company and it's getting a
Yeah.
lot better. Yeah.
That was, and actually it shows because after those few shows where you didn't have an audience or like it was a very small audience, now
Mm.
like in your previous years you've been able to like sell out your shows with 100 plus people. So that isn't a tribute to your
Yeah.
success with Gato Move. So I have to commend you guys on that. But before we get into that, we actually have a question from Ho Ho Lun. He's asking Pumi, when will you have your in-ring debut?
I cannot. I cannot. But yeah, because I'm the boss, I'm heel. No. I'm a Thailand Vince McMahon, so I'm gonna be there when you
Thailand
didn't
Vince
expect me.
McMahon, yeah. All right, and
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
because like I see Shanky like asking a lot of comments right now, and you had your show, you had Bangkok Showdown with Set Up, and it was a great success. It's still up on YouTube for people who want to watch it. Bangkok Showdown, it has 11,000 views already. So he's actually asking right now, do you have any plans on like bring making a show in India right now, or like maybe down the line? Is that an idea that you
Oh
want to
yeah,
have?
yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. We do plan a lot with the international shows because I think one of the worst mistake I had was I want to be a perfectionist all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
But you know when you try to make something big, you it's okay for you to be a perfectionist. But one thing you need to think along is you have a good friend. That's very
yeah,
important, you know. It's like because you are alone, you want to be a perfectionist. But when
yeah,
you have a very good friends, you can make a mistake. As long as
yeah,
you know that they can hold you, they can help you. So that's what happened and it's changed my mind in wrestling. I can go to do a show with anybody. Even the show
yeah,
quality is not that good, like 100% WWE, AEW, New Japan style, but as long as we can say that we try our best, fans loving that, you know.
Mm.
So I want to do a show with a lot of people to make sure that it's kind of a symbol that the wrestling can get bigger. The wrestling can be more like globalization. Yeah, so I think the plan to do a show with India is indeed a lot because we have Aki and Gatoh Move, we have Gatoh Move that because I think setup has a terms of the international feeling already. Yeah,
Yeah. All
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yep. Thank you for sharing that. And I do agree that we people can be perfectionists. Like sometimes I'm a bit of a perfectionist myself, but as long as I'm having fun with my friends, that's definitely like the end goal. All right. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Pooh. And we have to ask because like right now, Got to Move Thailand has been dissolved. You guys have set up right now happening. Can we talk a little bit about the reason why after 7 years, Got to Move
Sure,
Thailand
sure,
was
sure.
discontinued? Yeah.
Okay, that's I think that's a little bit difficult to say, but it's good for
Mm.
you to ask. The thing is, what I mentioned to you is Gatoh Move plan to start as a woman wrestling company. Okay,
Mm.
but in fact, by the other side, Gatoh Move is the very first wrestling organization in Thailand.
Yeah.
So the thing is, firstly, the cultures in Japan and in Thailand is different. And the
Yeah.
thing is, the more you want to be bigger, it's not about you anymore. It's about you. It's about how the society react to you. It's about how the sponsors, how the commercials, how the everything, how
Yeah.
that context affect to you. The more the more we grow up, the more I think that how to say the business is getting better. That's why people
Yeah.
ask that why you dissolve the company, why you can see clearly that the business is going very good. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is that's not got to move, you know.
Yeah.
I need to respect what Emi Sakura want to do. I need to respect what
Yeah.
Sakura-san want to make. Let's see, in Thailand we have the cultures like WWE, that's a thing.
Yeah.
WWE is more like a dramatically like a TV shows. We
Yeah.
have like a soap opera, we have like a low bro, we have something like that, but we cannot do that because in Japan we have a lot of girls. We have Mei-chan, we have like Mitsuru, we have like Riho that but we need to protect her. Whatever
Yeah.
we do affect both sides. You know,
Mm. Yeah.
so that's a good thing. I love that kind of wrestling a lot. But sometimes the government asks that not it's like the sponsors anything asks that if we can do like WWE because we have no choice, you know, wrestling because of the Stone Cold giving a middle fingers to
Yeah.
win some, and that's what make them entertain, and they want us to do the same. So the more we do, the more I think that I need to protect the move, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why we need to do something new. And
Yeah.
but we're still a good friend. We still help each other a lot. Just
Mm.
like ECW, the new ECW, you know, we have so many good
Yeah.
talent there, CM Punk, but the reason is this so is because they used the name ECW,
Yeah.
right?
No,
So yeah,
I agree, and I respect that decision. I respect that you respect Emi Sakura's vision for Got to Move, and
hmm,
you guys are still friends in the end. So that is something that everyone can respect happening, and you guys
yeah.
have set up, which is going well, which will go well after this coronavirus pandemic, and then obviously
Thank
Got to
you.
Move is doing well, also Choco Pro. But yeah, I have to ask,
A
after the
lot.
7 years that you've been in Got to Move Thailand, what was your like most favorite memory out of everything?
Most favorite memories was like it's kind of the to me is I started business when I was very young. It's like you
Mm.
put someone put you in the big position when you were not so ready, honestly. So I
Yeah.
made so many mistakes in about
Mm.
the budget terms, about the behavior terms, anything, many things.
Yeah.
So if I look back, okay, make it simple, like when Facebook have notification, just like the Facebook memories. you see a
Yeah.
lot of stupid thing you did 8, 9 years ago, and I feel like so ashamed of that. So it feels that okay, I work with Sakura-san. That's one of the best thing I ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
So in the same time, I know that I be a lot of unprofessionals in terms
Mm.
of like of my age, of my like
Yeah.
knowledge, anything.
Yeah.
So my favorite moment of Gatoh Move is when it was over, because Gatoh Move we were two sides, Japan, Thai, and we think a lot. We have a lot of things. So the only time we can just stop everything and think was when it's over. When you
Mm.
realize that
Okay.
when you announce that it's gonna be over, that's hurt. You always
Mm.
feels like you do something bad. You always feel like you doesn't make her proud. So, but when the last show is like, let's go move and it's over, the first thing I ask her is like, am I make you proud for like the past 10 years?
Yeah.
And she said, it is. It is. So I think that's enough, when you can get like slow down everything
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I think that's what is good enough. Because if you ask me honestly, I always feel like I want to make the company better. I still want to go over because to move. But
Mm.
if
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
context, I need to separate and
Yeah.
yeah, and have my own life. So
Yeah.
that's why.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you very much for sharing that. And Pumi, as we are about to wind down this interview right now, we're going to the next
Mm.
segment. It's called Whiplash. So what's gonna
Mm.
happen is I'm gonna show a card with a word on it, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna send a message to the word on that card. It can be a promo, it can be a memory, it can be anything you want to say
Oh,
about that thing.
sure. It's
It's a pro-
difficult for me. I'm not the wrestler, but let's go.
it's, it's a promo class. All right, you ready, brother? All right.
I'm
The
always ready.
first,
Yes.
yes, the first word is I want you to send a message to this group. Gato move.
Wow, they are like the most beloved people I ever had in my life. They are a thing that shaped me who I am today. So I
Mm.
cannot thank enough for them, both in Thailand and Japan, and also the part that left for Top Dojo. They all like shaped me who I am today. So I always appreciate them.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, Gato move. Next word is Lulu Pencil.
Lulu Pencil is honestly I never met her before, but she is the one I want to meet. She
Yeah.
write the articles, I write the
Yeah.
articles, so we have a lot of things in common, and I always clumsy all the time. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to see her on the ring, it's like, oh my God, that's kind of the female version of me. So yeah, that's cute. She's going to be the first person I walk into it when I go to Japan next time and say that I'm your big fan.
Yeah, I'm a really
Yeah.
big fan of Lulu Pencil also, and it's always very funny when you commentate her matches, and then when she's about to hit her moves and it doesn't happen. Lulu
Ah,
Pencil, she's already won a match, correct? She's already won a match. So Lulu Pencil, I wish you the best luck always in your career. All right, the next word is
yeah.
send a message to Dr. Gore.
Okay. In terms of the funny thing is he is my fuck friend. It's like a bad. But I mean, in terms of cafe, he is like always make fun of me all the time. But in
Yeah,
terms of the friendship, we are very good friends. Compared to the first day when he came to Thailand versus Tapsa, he was very clumsy, was very
yeah,
tall guys. But and then our relationship goes in terms of like there in 2018, I think he wrestled in Thailand 10 times more than he wrestled in SPW.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was one time that Dr. Kaur come to Thailand on Friday, wrestle on Saturday, Sunday, go back, and this week he come back again. So
Yeah.
he is the most famous wrestler in Thailand, more than our stand-up
Wow,
wrestlers. Yeah, that's
man,
stupid. Yeah,
Dr. Gore. Dr. Gore is especially famous now because he's wearing a face mask, and we all know coronavirus. You have to wash your hands and everything. So Dr.
yeah.
Gore, congratulations on being the most famous wrestler in Thailand.
Yeah, when he
Hopefully,
comes, we can guarantee at least 30 tickets gonna be sold. Yeah, so that's
all
okay.
right.
That's enough. That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's
Thank you for
good.
sharing that. Second to the last word is Emi Sakura. What do you have to say about your mentor?
Wow, I cannot talk about her without getting emotional because I think, yeah, yeah, there's gonna be someone that you look up to, someone that you can do anything to her. It's difficult for a guy like me to say that I love someone, but for Sakura-san, she is the one that I love a lot. She can ask
Mm,
me to do anything, and I will say yes. I never say no to Emi Sakura, but people are gonna see like, oh, are you a fan of Emi Sakura? But not, because I'm close to her more than anyone else knows, right? I work a lot with her. I eating with her. I have fun with her. Many memories with her.
yeah.
So that's one of the best memories in my life. It's gonna last very long. Sometimes uh, just like what Rico said, that whatever our path goes, but she's gonna be the first one. I want her to see my success. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the kind of thing I had with her. Yeah.
Mm. And thank you for sharing that. And also thank you very much to Emi Sakura for everything that she's done for everyone in professional wrestling because
Mm.
she has helped you guys, she's helped us. So she's been a great help to the entire Southeast Asian pro wrestling scene. All right, one last word, and the word is set up Thai pro wrestling. What do you have to say about it?
Right now, setup has only one show, but people ask that why we not why. It's like how we gonna get better from now. But
Hmm.
I think setup not only a wrestling organization, but there's a group of people that I love the most.
Hmm.
And with this group, I want to take over the world with them. I mean, I want my good friend to know my good team. I want my good team to get a good things that as much as I can. They are the
Yeah.
group of person I want to work hard for, not only for myself, but I'm kind of the how to say. Before joining wrestling, I love to be alone. I love to be only for myself, but I can say I'm kind of a little bit selfish person. I do everything for business.
Yeah.
But for setup, it's difficult for guys like me to say that I want to work hard for someone. I don't
Yeah.
know that what I try is good enough or not, but at
Hmm.
least I do love to try. Even I fuck up, even I make a mistake, but I know that with them on my back, I can get back and work for them again. So that's what they mean to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And that was it for Whiplash. And thank you for sharing that. That was I totally agree with you when you say that when you meet that group of people that you really want to work hard for, it makes work so much better. Like
Hmm.
when it comes to me and Ken Warren, I really want to work hard for Ken, make sure that our tag team does absolutely well. And hopefully,
Hmm.
yeah, well, hopefully after this whole coronavirus thing, we'll do better. Hopefully after the whole coronavirus thing, setup will also do better. I hope that you reach your goal and like making sure that wrestling is available for everyone. Hopefully, everyone enjoys wrestling.
Hmm.
But before we let you go, and this is like we're winding down again, but before we let you go, Pumi, I have one more question for you.
Sure.
So, in all your career in pro wrestling, what is the biggest lesson that you've learned so far, and what is the lesson that you would like, and what is that lesson that you will want to pass on to others?
Okay. What I learned right now is I need to know that everything shall pass. You know, the success, the sadness, anything. Wrestling is something that I always say that wrestling is the most unfair things in the world. You may
Mm,
train for 3 years, but a guy who train for 3 months maybe like get a debut match before you.
mm,
Anything wrestling is about the business. Is about there is a lot of unfair in wrestling. That's why you need to understand how the system works. You cannot be a
yeah.
good wrestler without understand how the system works. And
Mm,
also, you need to understand that or of your happiness, or of your sadness, or of your success, has someone like working hard on that for you
Mm. Yeah.
to fix that and or to help you all the time. So you need to appreciate, you need to be polite to anybody, even you like them or not like them, but as long as you stay in this business, you need to find the good thing from each other. You need to be friends.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have no choice but to get angry with someone, right? We are
Yeah.
human, but you cannot put that into the match. You can
Yeah.
angry them as much as you can, but you need to be professional when it comes to safety. You cannot take someone life. You cannot take someone health. You need
Mm.
to, whatever reason, if you love wrestling, you need to act that you love wrestling too. So that's the most important. Yeah,
All right. And
yeah,
thank you
that's
very
all for
much for
me.
sharing that. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
sharing that lesson with us, Fumi. And thank you for joining hashtag PBOG Live tonight. If you can, please tell our viewers where they can find you on social media, where they can find setup on social media.
Okay, I have the Snap Thailand Pro Wrestling is facebook.com/setupth, and my Twitter's Pumi_GTMV, and also please see me on Gatoh Move YouTube channels, youtube.com/Gatoh Move. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, Pumi. And thank you very much for joining us. We had a lot more that we wanted to talk about, but we'll have you on another episode. Hopefully, we can get about to talk about humans of wrestling. I really wanted to get into
Sure,
that.
sure.
But thank you, Pumi, for joining us tonight. And please
Thank
wash your
you.
hands, stay safe, and take care. We'll see each other very soon. I know that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay,
All
bye
right. See you,
bye.
Pumi.
Bye
Bye. Good
bye.
night. All right. That was it. We got to get the Tag Amigo Ken Warren back in the show to close it off for John Cena Saturdays. Ken, what's up?
Awesome, bro. That's awesome, man. I never thought it was like it was a meaningful guesting for me how I viewed it,
Yeah.
like as just a viewer, you know.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I never realized like it's great that we get to see this side of a promoter's standpoint from a point of view.
Yeah.
He's he's a go getter. He's a risk taker,
Yeah.
and I like what he said towards the end. In wrestling, you have to understand how the business works.
Yeah.
It's unfair. It could be unfair. Like you've been training 3 years, but the guy who's been training 3 months gets the first match. Like wow, like
Yeah.
I can relate to that. But I mean, like not directly me, but like that's that kind of saying, that kind of situation. It's crazy, bro. It's awesome, man. It's a great like reflection of how the business works, especially here in wrestling here in Southeast Asia, man. We're very young here,
We're
and
friggin' young, yeah.
the struggle. He's almost like a Balianaki. He's
Yeah.
embracing the struggle. He's very business minded, but at the
Mm.
same time, he chooses to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm making sense. How about you?
Yeah. You're making complete sense, and it's amazing because I didn't know. I read the articles on him. I didn't know he was like as young as 18 when he first started contacting these Japanese promotions. His 4,000 baht to buy a new cell phone just for Twitter went into some good work. Like he was able to get Emi Sakura to basically start up the whole Thai pro wrestling scene from scratch and help him out there. And he's been doing the hard work also. He was doing this while he was a university student in Thailand. So that goes to show you how hardworking he is, and that just goes to show you how much in good hands setup is. Obviously, they also have a good team with Paxa, with Shivam, with Jonathan Johnson. They have a lot of good guys over there, and I'm pretty sure that once this coronavirus thing like pans out, everything's gonna be good for setup. I have to say that. But yeah, like I totally agree. Also, in the sense that he like if you're in the pro wrestling business, if you have the passion for it, the best thing that you can do is understand how the business works. Sometimes people are just more skilled. Sometimes people are just more talented. They will get more opportunities, and that's why if you're in the pro wrestling business and you really love to be in it, you're gonna have to be passionate and work harder than everyone else. Like first in the gym, last out, stuff like that. And that's what we're trying to live by. That's what we're trying to do, and I'm really also very grateful that you find it refreshing. I hope everyone else finds it refreshing that I have people on like this, and we have 30 seconds left. Oh no, we're gonna have to do another live
All
in a
right.
bit.
Carl,
I
stand
can't
by.
really get it.
Carl, where are you at? Carl, stand by.
Carl, stand by. But yeah, we have 17 seconds left, so I really want to like finish this out strong. We're probably gonna come in and talk about a little bit more about Pumi and setup. Yeah, obviously. Well, we'll just finish off a little bit. So yeah, again, we got to thank Pumi for joining us. We thank him for talking all about his story with Gatoh Move Pro Wrestling, helping start the Thai wrestling scene over there, and all that he's doing in setup. Hopefully, we'll have him on again. We're going to talk about Humans of Wrestling because I didn't really get into that because we were going off against time. Obviously, our biggest opponent in the world, as always, is time.
And the
We
IG
don't
live
have
limit
enough.
of 1 hour.
Yeah, IG limit of 1 hour. We don't have enough. We don't have enough time. Again, thank you everyone for joining us. Ken, do you want to tell them about that pin comment right
Oh,
down
funny,
below?
funny you should ask, amigo. It's actually the not only the latest partnership, but the most groundbreaking Philippine pro wrestling show that ever happened, circa 2019. A little bit last year, relived the biggest show in Philippine wrestling history, circa 2019. As hashtag PWR Homecoming is live on demand now at www.streamsessions.live for the very reasonable price of 500 pesos. That's like $10 in American dollars. That's $10.
500 pesos. And it's still up until July 31. So it's on for only a limited time. You have around a little bit of a month and a half left to check it out. So make sure you buy that ticket, watch it on streamsessions.live, watch Your Homecoming. It's the best Philippine pro wrestling show of the day. So watch how good Philippine wrestling is, how good it can be, and obviously we're not gonna stop there. We're gonna do more stuff once this coronavirus pandemic ends, and obviously tomorrow we will have hashtag PWG live again at 11 p.m. It's gonna be another late night for me. I'm gonna get ready with my coffee as we have formerly known as Connor from the Ascension joining us over at the Ken Warren's Instagram. Do you have anything to say about that, Ken?
Oh man, I'm just excited to go back memory lane, brother. I want to talk about just a little teaser. I want to talk about the first I say, incarnation of the
Yeah.
Ascension, the one with Kenneth Cameron, the one with like the wolves and the vampires. I want to talk about Connor being Connor O'Brien as the rookie of Alberto Del Rio on the
Yeah.
first NXT or one of the first few episode seasons and stuff like that, man. I have so much questions I've always wanted to ask, and it's crazy. We actually have him tomorrow at 11 p.m. Philippine time, 11 a.m. Florida time. That's crazy.
Mhm.
I'm just stoked. How about you? What are you looking forward to that, bro?
Well, obviously, next week we also have PW Wrestling from Home happening again Tuesdays and Thursdays. But tomorrow, I'm really excited to talk. I'm just really excited to talk about a former WWE guy because it's always interesting to know about their stories, how they go in through the business, how they go in through the machine that is PW, not PW, the machine that is the WWE, and like it's just very exciting to hear stories from them. And obviously, the hard work that they put in to be able to reach that pinnacle, that level of professional wrestling. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. All right. This has
Thank
been a
you.
long show. Well, not really that long. We've gone longer, but yeah. Thank you again to Pumi. Thank you again to Set Up Thailand for joining us tonight. And I think it's about time we go into hashtag John Cena Saturdays. What do you think, Ken?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. So for John Cena Saturdays tonight, May 29, 2020. Do your best every day to do your best every day. John Cena. So again, amigos, amigas, we go through life. We have a lot of stuff that we go through life. Many obstacles, many problems that we go through. The best that we can do every day is our best. So again, as John Cena says, do your best every day to do your best every day, and that's all we can ask from you, and that is all that you can ask from yourself. And Ken, joining us. Thank you for moderating tonight. I will see you tomorrow at PWOG Live at 11 p.m. with formerly known as Connor from the Ascent, and are still watching right now in the second part of this live. Thank you again, and we hope to see you tomorrow. And Ken, obviously, to end it, we can.
Hashtag that. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Senorita JDL. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone. Good night.